Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you've had a good 2 stitchy weeks without me. My stitching progress has been a little bit slow for the last 2 weeks. It's been very busy here and also quite stressful some days, and then other days have been really good. First of all though, I would like to say thank you for everybody that commented on the last video about the Lord of the Rings project that I'm doing and whether I should up my stitching or stay the same. When I get to that chart, I'll talk about it a bit more. But I have worked on 4 projects in the last 2 weeks. I think I told you about all of them last time, but I will get on to, what do we have here? So the first one that I have is the April focus. I lost my brain there. So every month, if you're new here, I have a focus piece and I try and work on it 3 times a week for the entire month. So this one was April's one because we're now in May. So it was the last couple of weeks on this one. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. And here is what it looks like now. So I have been trying to come out of the border. I think I did mention this last time that I put this on Flosstube, which would have been the last one. Yeah, it was on last one's Flosstube. Obviously it was because it was April. It doesn't look that different, I don't think, compared to the last time that I showed it. The sun is coming through a bit funny today. I think it's going to rain in a minute. But I have been trying to work my way down here. So I did 554 stitches and it's now at 2.3%. I do get very bored of the background on this, and I don't think I would be so bored of this one if it was one block colour. But for some reason, all of this is checkerboard, and I have noticed in the orange sections here as well, that's checkerboarded as well with 2 different tones of orange. And I don't know why, but it gets a bit boring after a while when you stitch in one, miss one, stitch one, miss one, and it's just the same all the way across. I did find it quite boring, and I think that is why I don't pick this one up as much. So I'm glad I had it as a focus for April, whereas I probably wouldn't have picked this one up for quite a while, which is unfortunate because I absolutely love the original image of this one. So I bought this pattern off of Etsy from the actual artist of the image. She used to be licensed with Gecko Rouge, Medusa Dollmaker. She no longer is. So you can find her patterns on Etsy, but I will just say they are quite checkerboardy, and computer generated is probably the word I'm looking for. I don't know if they've been edited at all, these charts, once they've been put through a computer to get the chart in. I don't think they've been touched at all. I think they've just been put through. So if you don't mind stitching like that, then these will be really good charts to do because they are actually very well priced as well. I think they are £9 something in UK money. I can't remember how many colours this one has. I don't think I've wrote it down anywhere either, unfortunately. But as always, all the information for all of my charts, even the ones I don't show, is in the description below. So the next one I have is my Mother's Day start. So I did say I was going to pick this one up again. This is Necromancer. And this is from Trissabug, and the company is Thread Geeks. So this one is 189 stitches wide by 270 stitches long. So it is quite a smaller chart compared to the ones that I typically do. And it's on 18 count fabric. Now I do really enjoy this one. It's just it's not on gridded fabric, so it does take me a little bit longer, and I'm also stitching in full cross, where a lot of my full coverage charts I like to stitch in half stitch. So here's what it looked like last time. And here's what it looks like now. So when I first, if you haven't seen this before, when I first got this chart, because it wasn't gridded, I started in the middle, and I'm always very more comfortable, I'm always comfortable in the top left. So I worked my way back up to the top left, and that is where I currently am. So I tried to do a bit of background this week, and I only did 275 stitches on this one. However, this one is May's focus. So I was supposed to do a new start for May, so I didn't have anything written down for a focus for that month. In the last Flosstube, explained that I've changed my mind and I'm not going to do a full start, a new start at all in May now. So I've put this one for May's focus. So you will see this one all through May, because Gamer Girl's going away now, and I will now be working on this one. So the other one that I done before I show you Lord of the Rings is I decided to pick up Pokémon. I haven't shown this one for a while, so if you've never been here before or anything like that, I started this, gosh, over a year ago now, and it's one of the giant generation Pokemon. There'll be a picture on the screen somewhere, and I just haven't picked it up for a while. So here's what it looked like the last time you saw it. I want to say I picked it up in January or February was the last time, but here's what it looks like now. So I'm almost at the end of the first page. This is the first page, and this percentage will be higher than what I've actually stitched because I've taken out the background. So the background of this chart was supposed to be white. There is another one by Lord Libidin, which has a blue background, and I did originally download that chart because it's free. If you search up Lord Libidin Pokemon Generation, I think it's called, it will come up on the internet and you can download that pattern for free. But I didn't like the colours that they'd chosen for some of the Pokemon, and there was a couple of colours on the chart that the numbers didn't make sense. I had to actually go and find out the actual colours off of a Facebook group. And once I'd looked at them all, I just thought, I really don't like the colour combinations that they've picked for this chart. So I went and bought this one, which is very, very similar on Etsy, but the Pokemon are placed in a different arrangement and the colours are a lot better in this one. So if you want something that has an accurate colour description for the most part, because I will say there is a Pokemon up here. Let me just show you quickly. This one here, this Dratini, this purple one here, is actually the shiny version of that Pokemon, so that's not the original colour of a Dratini. It's actually supposed to be blue. So some of them are slightly different, but for the most part, they are all the correct colour. So I did 394 stitches and I'm now at 18.4%. I thought my son was coming down the stairs then. And I stitch 2 strands full cross on this one, so it is a little bit slower. But I'm almost at the first page and it's coming along really, really nicely. This one's really fun to do because of all the colours. I don't know why I don't pick this one up enough. But then I say that about everything because I've got too many charts and they're all full coverage. And for the most part, they're all full coverage. So let's get on to the Lord of the Rings one. This was the one that I was talking about last time. I worked out, just in case you missed last week's, I worked out that doing 200 stitches a day until I'm 40, which is in 6 years almost, because my birthday's this month. I wanted this chart done for my 40th birthday. It's not going to get done on the 200 stitches a day. Some lovely people went as far as to work it all out for me and showed it all in the comments. And can I just say thank you so much for that, because I don't math. I hate maths. And I didn't work it out. I hadn't done any calculations as to see when it would actually, if I stayed at the 200, how long it would take me to finish it. I didn't do any of that. I used the app called Stitch Pal, and that said I would need to do, I think it was over 300 a day to get to finishing this at the age of 40. So I have thought about it a lot the last 2 weeks, and I think at the minute what I'm going to do is aim for 300 every day, because a lot of people said, stay at the 200 because you'll get burnt out. A lot of people said no, push to do the 300 or do it on certain days or have it as a focus on certain days, which were all brilliant ideas. I think what I'm going to do, because I was worried that all my other cross stitch patterns were going to be neglected if I did too much on this one every night. So I think what I will do is aim for the 250 to 300 stitches a day, or if I'm really not feeling it, just get at least over 200 somewhere. And then on the weekends, if I'm not busy in the mornings, I think I will spend some time in the morning just stitching. I did that this weekend, and I actually got, in one day, I got 407 stitches. So it did work. It's just if I'm going to be busy or not. So every time I've got a bit of free time, I think I'll try and pick this up a bit more than I have, just to like accelerate it a little bit. And somebody also said, make it a focus, which is another good idea. I just don't know how I'd fit it in there. The only thing I can think of is giving it a focus one day a week, but then that would mean, because I've already got a focus for each month, that takes up 3 days of the week. If I give this a day of focus, that's another 4, and then I'm worried that the other chats that I pick are gonna kind of be neglected. But I could try that. I could try that for the next 2 weeks. I could give it one full focus day every week, say on a Sunday or something when I'm the least busy, and then see how that goes. That might be a good option. But for now, I am going to try and stitch at least over 200, because before, when I had the target of 200, I would get to like 180 and be like, well, that's close to 200, I'm done. But now I'm like, no, keep going, you're at 180, why don't you just carry on until you get to the 200? And thankfully so far I haven't been burnt out by this pattern, because a lot of people did say that I probably would get burnt out, because it's 999 stitches wide. But at the same time, if I don't keep up with it, it's never going to get done, and I will be more annoyed, I think, if I don't finish it than just not doing it at all. So here's what it looked like last time. And here's what it looks like now. So I have done a fair bit this time. I did 2,922 stitches, and we are now at 6.9%. So I really like it. I have noticed there is a line in this pattern here, like a really stark line from where I was working page by page before. So now I'm trying to stagger, and I'm not doing page by page by page because of this really harsh line up here. I'm hoping you won't notice it so much when the whole thing is done. And it also makes it look a bit wonky at the minute because my fabric is not dead straight in this hoop. So it does look a little bit wonky, but the colours in this chart, as always, are beautiful. And this is 28 count fabric, and I always do 2 strands, half stitch, although I have messed about a few times and did 1 strand and I didn't like it. And you can see there, I think that's I don't know if that's a fold in the fabric. No, yeah, that is a bend in the fabric. I must have had it bent over. I thought that was another harsh line then. But this is going to be a huge, huge project, and I'm going to have it for years. So I really don't want to fall behind on it. So I think what I'll try next week is I'll give this every Sunday its full attention, and I won't pick up another project. And I will always go over the 200 every night that I pick it up. I missed 4 days of stitching in the last fortnight because I went away to spread my granddad's ashes, and when we came back I was exhausted, so I didn't do any. So I have missed 4 days worth of stitching, and that has shown in the other projects, whereas this one I made sure that I had as a priority. The other ones have fallen behind a bit in the last 2 weeks, so hopefully in the next 2 weeks I can pick it back up again. So for next week, I have decided to do a spin the wheel. So we'll obviously have Lord of the Rings and Necromancer, and then I want to spin the wheel on... I'll do 2 projects. I'll do one is a definite, and the second one I will put down for if I get bored. So I've already got it ready. Let's do it. Let's see what it is. Long Dog Sampler. That's a really nice one. I really like that one. Okay. So the Long Dog Sampler will definitely be worked on this week. Well, this fortnight. and Tomb Raider. So I will pick Long Dog Sampler as a definite and then Tomb Raider as a backup if I get bored. But you'll obviously see Long Dog. You'll obviously see Lord of the Rings and Necromancer. What else have I got to tell you? Oh, in other news, my Etsy shop is now back open. So if you'd like to go and take a look at it, it's a lot of diamond painting stuff at the minute. There is a few cross-stitch charts. They're mostly from artwork that's done by my daughter. There's a couple of needle minders and things like that, but the majority of the stuff in there is for diamond painting at the minute. I have plans to add some more cross-stitch accessories later on in the future. It's just when I get time to do it. But I do ship worldwide, so if there is something there that you want, go and check it out. And I think that is it for this week. Well, this fortnight. I keep saying week, but it's every 2 weeks that I record. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.